How are you doing? We're here Friday, end of the week. How's your week been? I hope it's been a really good week. You've had a mixture of balance, which is what we're going to be talking about today, balance between work, rest and play, and just making sure you're looking after yourself, because again, midlife can be pretty full on, pretty hectic, and often we don't put ourselves on top of the list to make sure we're okay and doing what we need to do. So it's a gentle reminder of checking in and have you made sure that you've put yourself at number one during this week. Today's 5 moves in 5 minutes are taken from our class at 8:30, our balance and strength class. We're going to do a couple of our regular moves we do every week just to see how we progress, and then I'm going to show you 3 other moves just to challenge our balance, add a bit of strength in different ways whilst we're actually focusing on that balance too. So as always, if you're going to join in, that's brilliant, but please make sure you're feeling fit and well and you only do what's suitable for you. And also, if you are a bit unsteady or you're not quite sure, have something close to hand, not that, let's move, chair, whatever. So if you need to, you can just gently reach and you've got that support there, because we're still working our balance even with a little bit of support. So first move, we're going to just start off with our gentle bend, tiptoe, straighten, lower. Timer's on, 45 seconds. So I'm just going into a sort of semi-squat, and then I'm going to just come up onto my tiptoes, straighten, and come back down again. My feet are hip width apart, so everything feels in line and balanced. And I'm just working on that hinging, coming up onto toes, so extending my toes, and then pushing myself up to standing and then lowering down. So bend, tiptoe, straighten, lower. Bend, tiptoe, straighten, lower. And I have to control myself that I don't go too far forward. So the whole body is working, supporting me in this movement. Bend, tiptoe, straighten, lower. Now, 15 seconds rest. Next move, I'm just going to stand on one leg. It's quite often, when we think about balance, is that what we sort of visualize, that standing on one leg? So A is a good way to practice, because we're then having to transfer the weight onto one leg, one foot, see how stable we are. Something we can progress from. I started before the timer went off actually, but we can add more movement to that simple balance to make it a bit more dynamic. Oh, I think I've got my timers around the wrong way. That'll be why. Still got the timer on from the class the other day. So I'm going to just stand on one leg while I sort my timer out. I didn't check that. That's back from Wednesday. We were doing 45 seconds with no break. Now we want to have a break. So let's just do that. So I'm focusing on something else, which in a way helps with my balance. So when we're standing on one leg, again, we could be making sure that we have a focal point, which helps stabilize us. Now I can feel that actually this whole side is working really hard to keep me stable. My right foot is sort of working, it's sort of anticipating what's going on with what the rest of the body's doing. That's okay. And again, this leg just being bent, but we could just have the leg hovering wherever you want. Now that might be okay. And then we could progress and add more movement. So could I then bring my leg back and forth, round and round? So again, this side is working as I then take the other leg into different movements, which is going to challenge this balance. And as I haven't got the timer set, I'm going to pause there now and we'll move on to the next exercise. Right, so from there, we're going to do a stand to kneel, because again, part of our balance is to be able to get up if we've had a fall, get up and get down. I'm going to press the timer. I'm going to step back. So in a sense, I'm just doing a lunge. I'm gently lowering down, bringing both knees. Maybe I sit back on my heels if that feels okay. And I'm going to come back up. So I'm actually doing a bit of a hip thrust, pushing my hips forward. I'm going to then bring my leg back up again. And I'm aiming not to use my hands, but if I need to, that's absolutely fine. I'm getting up, pushing myself back up to standing. And I work the other leg. So I'm going to take my right leg back. No, I just did that, didn't I? Take my left leg back. Actually, no, I think I've just done that. See? Balance. Take that leg back. I'm always amazed at how quickly I can forget within seconds what side I've done. I'm going to take this leg back. I'm going to start because I've finished. That's better. I hadn't worked that leg. Come down and then drive the hips forward and come back to standing and pause. From here, we're going to do a clock face. So I'm going to take my right leg, I'm going to tap out 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. and just go back and forth. So as we did just earlier, that single leg balance while there is movement on the other side. Now here, I could be nice and upright, and I'm just taking the leg around, or I could hinge back a bit, bend that knee, so I can get a little bit further around with my clock face. And actually, I wanted to do, take it into sort of a curtsy lunge. And then my hands automatically are sort of up in the air to help with my balance. So you find that position that's comfortable. Maybe they're okay resting on my hips. It's all about finding our okay points. There's no right or wrong. There we go. And then the last move, one we did last week, we're going to do a side step, a reasonable side step, a step forward, a step back, a step to the side, a step forward, a step back. So we're having to move side to side. I'm holding this leg up, but you can put that foot down. Stepping forward, stepping back. Thinking about, why might you do this? Well, if you're out walking, you might have to jump over a puddle or something. So being able to sort of spring into action, build up that power through the leg and the foot to be able to power off, come back up again and down is really important. But again, we can always break things down. So if I didn't want to do the little jump, I could just step forward, step back, step out to the side, step forward. I can adjust it and break it down to suit me. And there we go, we'll rest. So 5 moves in 5 minutes. Always noting as well that from one day to the next, from 1 hour to the next, our balance might vary. Take into account what's going on, how are we feeling? Do we have a good night's sleep? Are we busy? Are we not focused? So balance will vary. Some weeks you think, brilliant, got it. The next week you'll do the same move, you think, what's going on? But that's all okay. It's all part of the body just working at different stages. Let me know how you get on. How's your balance? I'd love to know. From here, we're back on Monday with cardio and core, I believe. So have a super weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.